Okay. Mali na. Okay.
Wait lang ha, i-mute. Check ko muna kayo.
I-mute mo sila lahat. Dalawa lang tayo ang
Para hindi maingay. Nagre-reflect lahat.
Okay, sige po.
maingay.
Ipang-mute ko po sila lahat.
At
Yan, naka-mute na po.
okay.
Okay. Lahat naka-mute na. Except tayong dalawa, sir.
Yes. Paki-maximize mo yung screen mo para malaki.
Okay, wait lang po ha. There are 2 more na pasok. Okay. I think okay na siya. All right. Sige, so I hope you can see me still. Saan ba ako dito?
Yes.
Ayan. So I hope you can still see my face and you can also see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
most of the people I talk
Yes,
to,
we can see.
yung may gustong puntahan is really itong si Canada. They really want to go to countries like Canada because of the benefits doon. So number 1 benefit they really want is because they're thinking of more money, more salary, better salary. But on contrary, in my experience, mas mataas actually yung sahod if you're working in the Middle East, but only if you have Canadian passport, because your pay wage will be 3 times as higher. So what some of my clients do, they go to Canada muna, they get the status as a citizen, then they go back to the Middle East because they will be earning more. So that is if you really love the Middle East, like especially Saudi Arabia. Other people that I talk to, they want to go to Canada simply because they want to be with family. With the situation dyan sa Saudi Arabia, you know that there is Saudization. And yung unang tinatanggal normally nasa management position because yung Saudis yung kumukuha, like the accountants, even yung mga cashiers ngayon, yung mga Saudis na yung nagtratrabaho. And because of that, the money is not that stable anymore. And apart from that, you are away from your families. So yun, dalawa siya, double whammy. You want to get more money, but you also want your family to be with you. These 2 are the top 2 most important reasons why yung mga nakakausap ko, they go to Canada. No? Yung iba, other benefits would be because for their children, they know na if, for example, I talked to one of my clients from Riyadh. She told me na that this was 3 years ago. She told me na yung aking anak is studying in Saudi. I'm paying around 8,000 for the annual tuition fee. Pero I cannot say so much na maganda yung education for the children. So she decided na dalhin ko na lang sa Canada because if ever man na nandun siya, she will have world class or globally recognized na education. So this is another reason. And eto, if you can see the picture, this is for healthcare. A lot of people right now, even here sa Pilipinas, everybody is scared getting COVID. So I hope all of you are safe dyan in your homes. That's why we're doing online lang na presentation because baka mahawa tayo sa sakit. So if you are in Canada or Australia or New Zealand for that matter, it's very different kesa sa US or even here sa Philippines. Kasi if ever you are sick, the government will be the one to pay for all the bills sa hospital. Have you tried na magbasa sa Facebook? Madami naman siguro kayo na check sa Facebook, no? So, merong comparison, yung working people and yung non-working people. Yung working people, nagbabayad ng taxes, nagbabayad ng upa ng bahay, nagbabayad lahat, even sa hospital pagka nagkasakit. Tapos, on the other side, yung walang trabaho, may ayuda, libreng pabahay ng gobyerno. Pagka nagkasakit, libre pa. Wala pa silang contribution sa PhilHealth. So it's like tayo yung we are working so hard, but we're not getting benefits, especially for the healthcare. But if nandun ka, if you can imagine this, if nagkasakit ka, libre. How about if your child, like my child that was 2 months ago, because I have a baby boy, 2 years old, well, he was playing on the bed, nag-jump siya and he hit the edge, yung parang ganon sa my hotel, and his eye got hurt. So we had to rush him to a surgeon para matahi siya. Kailan magbayad. But if that was in Canada, libre siya. No? So these are benefits for healthcare. And this is something that you really should get. Now, since I'm talking to OFWs, some of you have been there for mga, I don't know how many years, 2 years, 4 years, 10 years. Tinatanaw ko yung profile mo kanina, Sir Rolando. I can see na matagal ka na talaga dyan. Right?
22 years na.
Ay, matagal na to sa Saudi. Because ang ganda ng buhay dyan. No? If that was before.
Yeah, that was before.
Ngayon, you can feel na iba na talaga. And most of the people I talk to na umalis dyan, they can no longer see their future in Saudi for the next 5 years. And ayaw nyo naman siguro na when you are already at the retirable age, you will only get your end service benefits. Yung parang benefits from the employer pag nag 5 years and 10 years ka yung malaki. Because aminin na natin, you may have already went home for a vacation and mauubos yung pera. Like 200,000, 300,000, bilis lang mawala niyan. If you will get a retirement benefit dyan from your employer na, let's say, 2 million pesos, I hope that you can really start a business and it will really prosper. But what if kagaya ka ng mga kilala ko from the Middle East, nag-retire 2 months ago, they went home to the Philippines, made a business na fast food. Tapos, eto na si COVID. Patay yung negosyo. No? So, paano yan? So, this is the sad reality. But if you would have used that money, pumunta ka, let's say, Canada or Australia, New Zealand, I'm challenging you, check their retirement benefits. Now, since I have lots of clients from Canada, there are actually 3 types of benefits na makukuha ninyo. One is employer benefit. Number 2 is government benefit. And the last one is what we call old age guaranteed na benefit. Meaning, kahit nagtrabaho ka or wala, you will always get this benefit. And it increases with age. And normally it's around 6,000 to 10,000 Canadian dollars maximum per month that you can get if you combine all three. That's a lot of money. So let's say you're earning 6,000 lang Canadian dollars. That is equivalent to mga 140,000 pesos monthly. Natutulog ka lang and then bukas, you have that money. And then pagka, let's say ganito, COVID, you're earning 100,000 plus, natutulog ka lang. So, you will have more stable na future compared sa if uuwi lang tayo dito, we'll start a business or ayan, antayin nyo yung matapos yung contract, uwi dito. Ewan. So, this is the place na, kumbaga, from my clients, sabi nila, Canada is a place for long-term if future talaga yung hinahanap mo. So, if you are planning to have all of these benefits, how long have you thought about this? These are very important questions. I'll ask you real good questions here. And if you've thought about this for like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, ano na bang ginawa mo? Have you done something about it? And last but not the least, ano pa bang inaantay mo? What needs to happen before you do something? Are you waiting for another calamity like this to happen? Are you waiting na matapos yung contract mo tapos maubos na naman yung pera before you plan to do something na will really benefit you long term? Kasi we always try to delay our plans.
Excuse me, John, right? Mark. Sir, merong tao sa waiting, paki-accept.
Nandyan ba? Okay. Si Grace. Parang client ko ata to Romero eh. Same last name ng client ko sa Dumaguete. Anyway, let us continue. So please don't wait any longer. No, you can start. The best time for beginnings is now. So let's go ahead and dive through our discussion. So since you're the spokesperson for all these people, sir, may I ask kung are you all planning for Canada or are you open for Australia and New Zealand as well?
Based on your presentation, parang na-encourage ako.
Okay. So we actually have these 3 countries. And so far, the most stable country, if you will read the news, in fighting COVID is New Zealand and Canada. These are 2 countries that are very effective with their citizens and residents. Now, I'll be discussing, first of all, the method on how you can get all of these benefits. And that is by going using what we call express entry for Canada, or what we call expression of interest. This is for New Zealand. So these 2 systems are what we call a point-based system. So I'm sure you've heard this na point-based siya. They will rank you based on your age, your education, all of this stuff. So what we will do to make this more fun is that I will go ahead and share with you. I hope this will be fun. I will share with you my screen for the official website of Canada. Please let me know if makikita ba. Let me know if it's showing.
Yes, it's showing.
It's showing. Okay, perfect. Sige. So before you apply, you have to know na madaming scam. It's a very strong word, no? But I want you to know that this is very transparent. So madaming nagsiscam. Madami will tell you that this is the score you need, this blah, blah, blah. So to finalize everything, for you to know what is real, I will share with you from the official website mismo ng Canada, government website. And as you can see here, Ito siya. This is a point system. And as you can see, these are rounds of invitations. Meaning, every month, Canada actually invites people to go to their country and become residents. But you need to know how much is the score needed. So yung score needed, as you can see here, this is as of April 30. Ito pala, sorry. Date and time of round, May 1, 2020 at 11:33. Nakikita niyo po ba?
Yes po.
Ayan, I hope na na-highlight siya. So, May 1, this is as recent as it can get. And as you can see, there are only 3,311 people who were invited to fly to Canada out of the millions literally applying. There are millions applying, pero konti lang yung nakakaalis. So, how do you know if you will pass, makakaalis ka? For you to know if you pass the score, you need to check here. Nakalagay dyan that the score needed is 452. 452 yung score needed para makaalis. So, for us to know kung sinong makakaalis sa inyo dito out of the many registrant, many attendees, thank you pala Sir Rolando kasi madami tayong nakakausap today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have here
Gawin mo
7
ako
pa, 9.
Gawin mo akong host para i-accept ko yung mga pumapasok at hindi ka madistorbo.
Okay. That I do not make host. Okay, sige. Okay, yan. So,
Okay, good. Thank you.
okay, you're welcome. So, sir, there are 9 of you there. So, what we will do right now is I need a volunteer sa inyo kasi we will check your actual score right now. Kung papasa ba tayo, makakaalis ba tayo o hindi tayo makakaalis. Because this is purely black and white. Ayaw kong paasahin kayo, ayaw kong kumuha ng pera sa inyo tapos hindi pala kayo makakaalis.
Miles, yung misis mo ang mag-volunteer.
So,
anong gagawin ko?
Sige, sasagutin mo lang yung tanong niya.
Yeah, just
sige,
answer my
sige.
question. Miles, ha? Bisaya man ka,
Okay.
Sir Miles, no?
Sige. Andito si Mrs. na sasagot. Katabi ko.
Okay, yes. Go ahead and answer the
Okay.
questions, ha? So, I hope you can see this
Okay.
screen also. So, marital status mo, ma'am?
Marital
Of course,
status,
you're married.
Yeah.
Married,
Ah,
of
married.
course. So, citizen ba or resident ba si Miles ng Canada?
No.
No. So, love mo ba siya, si Miles?
Hindi.
Hindi mo siya dadalhin. Okay, sige. So, of course, love mo siguro. So, dalhin mo. Tama? Okay. So, how old are you currently, ma'am?
32 years old po.
32. Okay. You're turning 33 this year or 32?
Turning 33 po.
Okay. Lagay ko na lang 33, ha? And then, what is your level of education? So as you can see here, it says earned a Canadian degree, diploma, certificate, or had an educational assessment if you did your study outside Canada. So this means na if nag-graduate ka dito, let's say from Cebu, you're from Cebu, ma'am, right?
Davao.
po.
Davao. So if you graduated from Davao University, your TOR will be sent to a third party who will assess if yung TOR mo is equivalent to Canadian education. This is to check kung anong level na education mo. Now, there are only very few universities na the bachelor degree is equivalent to a bachelor degree in Canada. I'll name just 3, ha? UP, We also have here Santo Tomas. We also have itong La Salle, Ateneo. These types of universities. In Cebu, for example, because I'm from Cebu, there are only 2 dito na universities na accredited yung bachelor's degree. So a bachelor's degree in Canada, and that is University of the Philippines, and we also have University of San Carlos. Just 2. So if I graduated in University of Cebu, I am not a bachelor's degree in Canada. I am an associate degree because my bachelor's degree is equivalent to 2 years only in Canada. So I just want to know, ma'am, for this to be more relatable, did you graduate from a state university or just private
Davao
college?
Doctors College. Private
Davao
college.
Doctors College. Okay. Same yan dito. Meron kaming Cebu Doctors College. Hindi siya recognized in Canada as a bachelor's degree. You'll be shocked, right? Sabi yung standards pala ng Davao na parang Cebu Doctors College din yan eh. So it's not recognized. So 2 years lang siya. So I'll put 2 years here, ha?
Yes po.
Okay. Have you earned a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate? Meaning, nag-aral ka ba sa Canada?
Hindi po.
Wala, no? Okay, sige. So, have you taken IELTS?
No po.
IELTS is a requirement. And you do know na mahirap tong IELTS, no? Medyo challenging siya. So, I will assume na nag-review ka ng IELTS and you are so fluent in English, I will put all 7 dito sa scores mo. Alam mo siguro natatakot yung mga nurses or healthcare professionals with all 7. Kasi ang hirap nitong kunin. It's very hard to accomplish. But let's say...
Na ba yung IELTS diri sa Riyadh, bay? Meron bang IELTS dito sa Riyadh?
Meron po, meron.
Meron, okay.
Pero
okay.
si Taj Mahar, yung nag-refer sa inyo, no? Si Darius. Si Darius nag-refer,
Yes.
no? Kasi sa Intercontinental siya. Yung asawa niya na nakapunta na sa Canada, hindi siya pina-IELTS. And I'll share with you later. Pero if you dadaan tayo dito para direct immigrant yung status ninyo kaagad, kailangan na mag-IELTS talaga.
Sige, sige. Okay.
So, hindi ka naman siguro marunong, ma'am, no, na mag-French? Hello,
No.
ma'am? Hindi. Just, French fries, no? Kain tayo ng French fries. Sige, so lagay ko dito not applicable.
No
So,
daw po.
in the last 10 years, how many work experience in Canada do you have? So, wala tayong work experience sa Canada, tama? Okay. So, since wala, I'll put
Wala po.
none. Next will be, how many years of work experience outside of Canada do you have? So we only have here 3 years or more. It has to be
3
work
years or more na lang
experience
po.
in the same industry. For example, ilagay ko si Darius, ha. Let's say si Darius is a waiter, tapos na-promote siya to captain waiter, then na-promote siya to banquet manager. So, even if iba-iba yung position niya, pero it is in the same industry, considered siya na continuous yung work experience niya. For example, nurse ka dito sa Pilipinas, tapos nag-nurse ka sa Kubar, tapos pumunta ka sa Riyadh. Basta nurse lahat related experience, that is 3 years or more. Pero what if paiba-iba siya, pero paiba-iba din yung company, like nurse ka ngayon, tapos IT ka sa susunod mo na contract, tapos naging manager ka sa susunod mo na contract. Ang work experience mo dyan is the most recent and the most longest na work experience dapat. So ganun siya ka black and white. But for
Nurse
sa'yo
naman
po,
po,
ma'am,
ever since po.
okay, that's good. So 3 years or more. Wala ka pong training galing sa Canada, tama po, ma'am?
Wala po.
Okay, sige. Tapos, do you have a job offer from Canada?
Wala po.
Okay. Now, if you have this, by the way, this will give you a working visa. So this is what everybody likes, getting a work visa. So just for you to have an idea, I will share with you on how it is to get a job. So I hope you can see this here. So the easiest way to getting a job in Canada is by networking. And that means if you have relatives or friends in Canada who can secure that job for you. Meaning, meron ka bang kakilala na ganun kakalab na sila yung maghahanap ng trabaho para sa'yo. This is the easiest and the best way you can do it. But that
Kahit
does
anong
not
trabaho
end
po?
there. Yes, that does not end there. Yeah, they can give you sort of jobs, but that does not end there. Because it says here whether that job is good or not depends if the employer can get a positive labor market impact assessment or LMIA. This is the license na ibibigay ng government to the employer if pwede siya, positive. Now, this would answer your question po, ma'am. Pwede bang paiba-iba? Now, if, let's say, meron kang kakilala, meron siyang binigay na trabaho sa iyo as a cook. Tapos yung trabaho mo is a nurse. Now, yung employer mo cannot get an LMIA for you pagka ganon. It has to be related. So if nurse ka, dapat yung ibibigay na
Should be
trabaho sa
related
iyo should be nursing.
Field.
Yung problema is hindi ka makakukuha ng trabaho sa nurse dahil wala kang lisensya sa nurse in Canada. That's the problem. How about if it's a manager?
How about
For
po as
example,
caregiver po or
that would be a downgrade sa yung work experience. So what will happen is the employer can get a license to hire you, but you will get denied in the embassy. Kasi sasabihin ng case officer, "Uy, nurse to, tapos magki-caregiver lang." Ay wala. Denied yan. That's how strict it is. May iba, of course, nakakalusot, but most likely, nadi-deny siya. So, this is something we can have a separate topic just for having work visa alone. But right now, I want you to know that the most effective way you can do this is by 2 things. That is, if you are in Canada and you are legally allowed to work, you can get a work visa. You can get a job. Number 2 is you go to POEA and you look for a job there. Kasi for sure, hindi siya scam. The challenge lang is that there are so many people applying for POEA, and frankly, because of politics, yung inuuna is yung relatives nila. That's the sad reality lang talaga. So that's why most people, even if merong relatives doon, hindi sila nabibigyan ng trabaho because it's very difficult to get a job. But if you can, then congratulations to you. Okay? You can have points dito, and I'm telling you, this points is 200 points. If you remember the points natin kanina, the points needed was only 452. If you get a job, that is 200 points. Nakita nyo na kung ano yung, it's half of the points already. So that's why even the employers, tataka sila, bakit ko ito ibibigay sa'yo? Hindi tayo friends, hindi tayo kilala, right? Lambat kita. So magpapakipot yung mga ganyan. That's why madami ding naloloko. Okay? But if you do have, then congratulations. So let's continue doon sa ating discussion dito. For the meantime, it's a no. Okay? Next will be, do you have a nomination from a province or territory? Now, this would only happen if you have a relative in Canada willing to sponsor you, or number two, your job is super in demand that hindi kailangan ng employer kumuha ng license to hire you. So they really are in need, like, bahala na, we need nurses, we need healthcare. Like in US, they need you. So, ayun, they will let you in immediately. Ganon klase na nominate. Okay? So, and lastly, if meron kang natapos na pag-aaral doon, kasi ikaw yung priority. So these are the 3 ways that you can get sponsored. This is 600 points for your information. 600. So jackpot round to. If you can get this, congratulations. So meron ka bang relative in Canada, ma'am? Either ikaw or si sir?
Meron
Like
akong
first
pinsan.
relative.
Pinsan
First
lang.
degree. San banda, sir? Sa Canada.
First degree kasi.
San banda, sir?
Nakalimutan ko, sir. Nakalimutan ko. Tanong ko muna. Kachat ko pa naman kagabi. Nakalimutan ko tanong.
Pero kung kachat mo siya, that means close pa kayo
Nakalimutan
na
ko.
willing ba siyang tulungan ka? Tulungan kayo?
Yun. Kababata ba? Magkapatid ang nanay namin.
Okay.
Andun din sila
that's
mag-asawa.
good. That's wonderful. But I need you to find out kung saan sila banda. Kasi iba yung rules nila dito. Federalism kasi sila. So, I will name the areas or lugar na pwede kang ma-sponsor ng relatives mo nang walang problema. Okay? Na diretso-diretso. Number 1 is if meron kang relative sa Manitoba. Manitoba. So, spelling is M-A-N-I-T-O-B-A. Manitoba. Yung pangalawa is if meron kang relative sa Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. Tapos yung pangatlo, nandito sa Prince Edward Island. So the rest, like nasa Ontario, sa Toronto City, sa Vancouver, dito sa British Columbia, or dito sa Edmonton, or sa Calgary, nasa Alberta Province, you need to have a relative and you need to have a job to be sponsored. So para sa US in most of the provinces. So those 3 are the only exemptions. Okay? So let me know mamaya, sir, kung nandun sa tatlo na yon, ha? Para you can get 600 points. I'll tell you the process.
Nabanggit na lang, sila sa island.
Prince Edward Island po.
Yata, oo. Ewan ko. Ang sabi niya lang, island daw siya eh. Sa island daw sila.
Okay.
Oo, sa Potato
Ipacheck
Company
mo,
daw sila
ipacheck
yata.
mo siya. Kasi that is 600 points. We will process you. Tapos the IELTS requirement is a lot lesser kasi direct apply tayo sa lugar na yon. Okay? So for the meantime, no to. Okay?
Sige, no na lang. Sige.
No siya muna, hindi pa natin alam eh. So next is, may kapatid ka ba doon? Si Mrs. or ikaw, may kapatid ba doon? Wala, no? So no. So dito naman tayo sa iyo na, sir. Sir Miles. Ano to? So, dapat i-verify din yung education mo. So, saan ka nag-graduate, sir?
Sa, anong tawag, dili sa branch ako. Na ako dito sa CTS, sir. CTS 2 years.
Okay. So, nag-associate ka. So, what will happen here is most likely you'll have a high school equivalent sa education mo. Harsh kayo, but
Sige.
that's how it normally goes. Now, so you don't have work experience in Canada, and then you need to take IELTS, sir. So let's say nag-IELTS ka, and your IELTS score, we will put still, instead of 7, we'll put 6.5. So this is how it will go. So let's say wala kang relatives, wala kang job, you did your best, hindi ka naghanap ng tulong, let's calculate the score, how much it is. So remember, the score para makaalis is 454. So let's check. Ito yung points ninyo po. Can you see it po?
Yes, nakikita.
Okay. So it's 326. What if mas older yung nag-apply? Like 45 years old. Let's say. So i-change ko dito ha to 45 years old. What happens is you will have lesser points. Ganun siya ka how this actually works. 246 lang yung points. 45 years old ka na. What if lampas ka? Ayan, mas bababa pa yung points mo. Ganun siya. This is the reality of direct immigration. So I really took the time to explain this kasi for those of you who have relatives there, ito yung ipipilit kasi nila eh. Ito yung ipipilit nila na mag-direct application kayo for immigrant. Kasi dati, ang bilis lang. Ngayon, hindi na siya ganun kabilis. So, how do we go about this para makapunta kayo dun? So, if you can see here, number 1 is if you can get a job. That's why madaming mga naloloko. No? So, my advice, yung the safest and the easiest way that you can really do this is if you will go there and you do the program na sinuggest ko sa kanilang yung mga clients ko mostly dyan from Riyadh. I only have 2 clients na nag-process ng immigration. So this is what we will do. It's called SWIM. It's called study, work, and then because you have lots of points, you become an immigrant. Study because you get points if mag-aral ka dun. Work because you're allowed to work. So you get an employer and then you get the points needed for immigration. So, anong mangyayari niyan? So, John, are you telling me na if pupunta ako dun, nag-aral ako, tapos in 4 months time, nakahanap ako ng employer and the employer wants to give me a full-time job, can I stop studying and become a resident? The answer to that is yes. Because getting a job offer is 200 points. Nagets niyo po ba?
Yes,
Yes.
very interested.
So that's basically why this program is a study program. Study work siya. So for you to know a little bit more about this, again, our goal is just to get enough points. That's just our goal, so that you'll become a resident. So I'll discuss a little bit about the student. It's easy because most of the schools right now binabaan yung tuition fee, and most of the schools ngayon walang IELTS requirement. So good news for you. Okay, hindi na mag-IELTS. Also, please note na etong pag-aaral mo is only 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days in 1 week. And then after your studies, You are allowed to work. Bahala ka kung hindi ka matulog. Your work is unlimited right now. Wala siyang limit. Tinanggal na yung limit na 20 hours. There's no limit in working right now. Also, please note that you are the one in control dito because you can control kailan ka aalis. This is the beauty, especially dahil OFW kayo in Saudi, you have contracts. Now, from my understanding and experience, some of you need 2 months to tell your employer that you will not renew. Some of you need 5 months prior para hindi kayo i-renew automatically ng employer. So our goal dito is, if gusto mo makaalis by the end of your contract, cross-country to Canada, my advice is start processing early because our target is 4 months. 4 months before your end of contract, you have already your passport with the visa stamp for Canada. So meron kang confidence to tell the employer, I will not renew my contract. That is why you are the one in control kung kailan ka aalis dito. Now, when you arrive in Canada, most questions is, makakapagtrabaho ba ako pagdating doon? Let me share with you from my clients right now kung anong sinasabi nila. They tell me, once you arrive in Canada, you will be quarantined. Kasi COVID ngayon. And then, one of the things you will do after quarantine is that you have to go to the school because they have, it's mandatory. This is from one of my clients. Pagdating niya sa school, the school classified kung ano ka, healthcare worker ka ba, yung experience mo, dito ka ba sa logistics, mga ganito, or willing ka ba kung anong pasukan mo, then they will forward you to manpower agency wherein you can work. You will be forwarded to kung saan ka makakapagtrabaho. So you are highly employable right now. If you are smart, I challenge you, please go ahead and research the population of Canada. At least 1 million will retire next year. Walang papalit ng 1 million na yun. Kukulangin yung tao nila. So the only hope that they have are those people who are already there. So yes, you are highly employable. Okay? Now, if you are going there and you're planning to go there as a family, your children get free education. You heard it right. Free education for your children up to the age 18. So if your children are still 17, please umalis na kayo because if they are 18 years old above, hindi ninyo sila madadala on this visa. Only those below 18. And then they get free education. Now, how about, for example, in the scenario of Miles, kasi you're married, love mo, of course, yung misis mo, hindi ka makatulog kung wala siya sa feeling mo, no? Kasi walang tanday. So, you can bring your spouse with you. And ito yung visa niya, it's called open work. Open work means this person has legal work rights in Canada. Kahit saan siya pupunta sa Canada, he or she is allowed to work. Hindi siya kailangan mag-aral, hindi siya kailangan mag-IELTS. Yung role niya is simply magtrabaho para buhayin yung entire family.
Congrats,
So,
Miles.
This is the program. So kung dalawa kayo, imagine mo, yung isa 3 days lang mag-aaral tapos magtratrabaho afterwards. Ikaw nagtratrabaho ka lang ng nagtratrabaho. Tapos you have children na mga let's say 7 to 9 years old. Libre yung pag-aaral nila. This is a wonderful visa because pupunta kayong lahat doon. Walang dependent fee. Walang dependent fee po sa renewal ng ikama, no, na medyo masakit dyan. So, magkakasama kayo as a family. And we are giving you 2 years duration to find a full-time job. 2 years. Grabe naman kayo, in 2 years, hindi kayo makahanap ng full-time job. Dalawa na nga kayo eh. It's impossible. So that's why,
So we can
eto
bring
si
our
Darius,
2-year-old daughter po with us.
that's a wonderful question, ma'am. Yung problema ko lang dyan is, the answer is yes, you can bring. The challenge is, sino magbabantay? So, okay lang, but you have to manage your time appropriately. So, I would let you imagine your scenario. Kung
Same lang
ano?
dito?
Ha?
Usually po, iniiwan nila yung mga anak nila po, di ba? Tapos kinukuha na lang nila later on pag stable na.
Normally, after 6 months to 1 year, kinukuha na nila yung mga anak nila. Which is not bad. It's really not bad. It's just that you have to sacrifice. So, really for long-term siya.
Madali lang ba ang process nun, sir? Pag nandun na kami mag-asawa? Yung bata, madali na lang ba yun?
3 months lang po. Kasi dependent sila eh. As long as we declare that they are your children, yes.
So pag-apply pa lang, i-declare na yung bata?
Yes, oo.
Sige. Okay.
So, I'll give you another scenario that can happen in Canada. Let's say, kayong dalawa nandun kayo. Yung misis mo let's say nag-aaral kasi siya yung nurse. Ikaw nagwi-waiter ka or ano ba yung trabahong pinasukan mo. Tapos let's say 8 months, binigyan ka ng full-time job. Ang mangyayari nito, sir, ikaw, Sir Miles, yung magiging main applicant sa express entry kasi you will already have the points needed to become a resident. And then pagka-resident ka na, resident na din, convert status si Mrs. Tapos yung anak po ninyo na 2 years old. Resident na din po. So either sa inyo, paunahan kayong makahanap ng full-time job. So na-gets niyo po ba yung program?
Yes po.
Okay. Now, let's say, I'll give you, by the way, calculation kasi this is important. You will know how much you are normally earning in Canada. This is from one of my clients who's an engineer. He's from Alcobar. He went back home in the Philippines and he's from Dipolog, Bisaya food. We processed him. He's one of my first clients. He flew after 2 years kasi he had to look for money. He went back to Saudi again and looked for money. Then afterwards, umalis siya. Ito yung chat niya sa akin last year, July 3, 2019. Yung sahod niya in 1 year is 32,352 yearly Canadian dollars. If I calculate that in monthly income, that's more than 100,000 per month. That is the salary that he is getting. And this is a student. Siya yung main applicant ha, nag-aaral to. Hindi pa included yung misis niya. So just think of that for a moment. Mas malaki yung maiipon ninyo. Kasi libre yung pag-aaral ng bata.
How about po yung cost of living dyan sa Canada po?
It depends po sa kung saan kayo banda. My advice, huwag kayo sa Toronto City kasi mahal. Don't go to Vancouver kasi masyadong mahal. My advice, you go a little bit farther, mga 1 hour away from the major cities. So you can study and work in the main cities, but you have to stay or live or kung saan kayo maninirahan, 1 hour away from the city kasi mas mababa yung cost of living.
Okay po.
Nagets niyo po?
Opo.
Okay, sige. So let's say ikaw ma'am, let's say gusto mo talagang tapusin yung pag-aaral mo, no? or let's say ikaw lang muna, and what's your assurance na magiging resident ka talaga? So we will extend your visa for 3 years after you finish your 2-year study. For sure, you're already a nurse then. Okay? During that time, if you're still, you can still be with your family if they're still there kasi extended din yung visa nila. And of course, you will have freedom to choose your employer, and you can even use your education in the US. If US is your target, your Canadian education is recognized in US. So you can still get a job in US if you want to. You can even fly to Singapore and other countries and your education is recognized. This is the wonderful thing. And of course, your salary is also higher. And of course, you get more points also. So you'll become a resident. These are some of the benefits that I highlighted for you. So before I discuss how we can start, this means how much is your investment needed. I want to know if you have any questions dito.
Sir,
Program.
question lang po dun sa yung sa study po. Like, maximum po yung tuition, magkano po?
Maximum the tuition. That will be our next topic na after this.
Okay po.
That's our topic, how much na.
Sige.
Aside from the
Ang
monetary
participants po,
value.
kung meron kayong question, i-reserve natin lahat yung mga questions mamaya para one time yung presentation kasi maraming magtatanong.
Okay, sige.
Okay
So
po.
just
Okay.
write it down ha para we can do that. So let's continue na lang, no? So let's go ahead and discuss the investment needed dito. So ito po siya, as you can see. Hopefully it's showing on your screen. The amount that you'll be investing, this is for our services. This is to help you get the school. This is to process you for the visa. This is also to guarantee that you can get the visa. Even if you get denied, we will reapply. Wala kayong babayaran hanggat you get the visa approved. This is for us to do the PIDOS. Okay. This is also to endorse you kung saan kayo titira pagdating doon, sinong kukuha sa inyo. And of course, we have a protection for your account, meaning to say there is no refund, but your account is protected. Meaning, for example, I have clients who started, let's say, 2 months ago, tapos they cannot continue because no work, no pay dyan sa Saudi Arabia and even the Philippines. They can opt to stop the application, continue it 2 years from now, 3 years from now, because the contract is after 7 years. You have 7 years with us. Your account is protected. Or you can choose to get the money back simply by transferring the account to another person. Parang ipa-assume ninyo. So this basically is what you're paying for. So this can be in 3 terms, 50,000 per segment. So let's see what that looks like. So this is with discount, by the way. If you can follow the dates na nakalagay po ha. Is it showing, Sir Rolando? Can you see it?
Yes po. Clear.
Okay. Perfect. So if you're able to start May 13, from 50,000, it goes down to 40,000. The second segment, you can pay it to enable, like 2 years afterwards, no problem. But if you want a discount, you deposit it after, on the month of July. That's 2 months after. The last one would be by next year on January 2021. And this, it's labeled here kung anong mangyayari. First thing we will do is we will forward your resume to our lawyers in Canada to find out if anong school and anong course mo. And then afterwards, we need to reserve you to the school without any payment pa ha. We will reserve you to the school. We will also give you IELTS review if your school needs IELTS. And of course, we'll give you the list of requirements for the enrollment. Now, how do we forward the requirements? Just simply scan it and send it to us through email. Everything is online. So just edit it and just send it through email. That's it. Now, let's say you have submitted all the requirements. The processing time here is 30 days. The visa specialist will be the one to process that, and it is 30 days. And at the very bottom, you will see it says school acceptance. School acceptance is the document that you will receive. So Taj Mahar got this, and it says something like this. Congratulations, Taj Mahar. This is your official enrollment statement. This is your tuition fee. And then you need to be in Canada by September 2019. Or anong date kung kailan ka gustong umalis. So we have to plan accordingly kung kailan kayo aalis. This is the part wherein matagal normally. It's normally on the first stage. Kasi we have to plan kailan kayo aalis. And then also yung matagal is mapili kayo masyado kung anong course and school ninyo. So dito normally natatagalan. But once that's done, the processing time is only 30 days. Okay? So let's say your target is next year by 2021, your contract ends on June, say June 2021. And you want to be in Canada by, let's say, September. So if June is your end of contract, that means by February of 2021, you need to already have your visa. Kasi remember, I told you 4 months before your contract ends, dapat may visa ka na. So meaning, you don't start next year, you have to start it immediately if you're planning to fly next year also. Because yung slots ng school are limited. Now, let's say plano mo, September 2021, kumpleto na yung papeles mo on the first stage, we proceed to the second stage. We will now give you the assistance and the guidance for visa requirements. One of the things na ikadi-deny ninyo is what you call the study plan. The study plan contains the reason bakit itong course yung pinili ninyo, bakit itong school yung pinili ninyo, bakit ngayon ka naka-decide nga mag-aral na matanda ka na, anong proof mo na babalik ka in the Philippines, all of this stuff, it needs to be there in the study plan. And there are other mga requirements for the visa. So we will help you with this. Okay? Now, kung gusto mong sabay kayo ng family members ninyo, you need to add 35,000 pesos po dyan. 35,000 pesos. So 40,000 plus 35,000 pesos. Para sa dependents mo. It doesn't mean na 35 each dependent, okay? It means 35,000 is good for 3 dependents already. For example, si Miles, siya yung main applicant, let's say. Tapos si Mrs. niya, tapos may anak siya, tapos may anak. These 3, 35,000 pesos siya. I hope that was clear. So, pwede niyong isabay niya na bayad dito para sabay yung processing natin ng visa. Clear po ba?
Clear po.
Okay, so let's proceed to the final stage. Let's say January 2021, you deposit that last segment. That is the time that we will submit your application to the embassy. Now, before we can submit it to the embassy, there are 2 major requirements. And that is the tuition fee. And number 2 is what we call the show money. Okay, so I hope you're ready for this. The average tuition fee in 1 year is normally 600,000 pesos. 600,000 pesos for 1 year. That's the average. Now, right now, bumaba siya. Ngayon, nasa 400 to 600 na siya. Meaning, pinakabababa is 400,000. Okay? That's for 1 year. The second year is also the same amount, yung babayaran mo. Don't think about the second year yet kasi mababayaran mo yan once you're in Canada because you're working. Focus on the first year. Kailan siya bayaran yung tuition fee na yan? If you're planning to fly September 2021, then dapat bayaran yan on January 2021. If you tell me na, John, what if wala pa akong ganun na pera? Probably 2 more years na pag-iipon dyan. This is why I told you, ikaw yung may control kung kailan ka aalis. Because here's the technique that we do. Because you are officially enrolled to the school, we will just inform the school na hindi ka aalis on that month of September because you still have a contract. We will renew the letter of acceptance to the next year na naman yung alis mo. Pero yung tuition fee mo is still the same. Hindi siya tumaas. It's still the same. So I have clients na yung ginagamit nila is they just do the first segment and then nag-iipon sila and then they fly 2 years after. That's why it's flexible yung payments. Na-gets niyo po ba? So you can start as early as now, fly 2 years after or 3 years after. That's the first one. It's the tuition fee. The good news lang dito is that aside from bumaba yung tuition fee, you do not need to deposit all of this amount one time. You can deposit a down payment. And the down payment is only 80,000 to 100,000 pesos. So imagine if you're planning next year, you will deposit 100,000 pesos only on January 2021. The rest, na 300,000, babayaran mo, you can pay that monthly or quarterly while you are working in Canada. Nagets niyo po ba? That's wonderful news kasi low cash out siya. Now, let's proceed to the second requirement. The second requirement is etong show money. The show money needed would depend on how many people yung aalis. If it is one person, the show money is 1 million. If dalawa kayo, the show money would be 1.6 million. If tatlo kayo, it would be 2.1 million. If apat kayo, that would be 2.8 million. If lima kayo, then of course that would be 3 million plus. So this is why what I advise from my clients is that kung pwede, dalawa lang muna kayo. And then once you are there, here is the requirement for you to get your children. As long as you have the full-time job, you can get them. No show money needed for your children. Or pwedeng isa muna, basta may full-time job ka na, you can get your spouse, you can get your children, no show money needed. Nagets niyo po ba?
Okay.
Now, how do we do the show money? Kasi not everybody has 1 million dito. Here's what you do. I'll give you ideas. The first idea is if you're willing to ask help from your relatives. And of course, close kayo ng relatives. You can tell your relatives, either they're in Canada, in the Philippines, Guam, I don't know where they are, just simply ask them, Tita, Tito, here is my documents. I'm flying now to Canada. Here's the proof na aalis na ako. And I need show money assistance. Would it be okay that you go to your bank and have them print the bank statement that you have this X amount of money? They simply print that, and that will be your show money. We will prove that you are relatives. That's just it. So no need to transfer the money to your account. No need to merge accounts. No need to create another account. Just simply bank statement. That's it. Up to 4 bank statements. So for example, you need 1 million. You can look for 4 relatives. One has 250, 250, 250, 250. Ask for bank statements. Is this clear? That is if meron ka relatives. Now, what if wala kang relatives or ayaw mo ng relatives dahil baka pagsabihan ka na
Chismis.
yung hindi maganda. So, ito yung gawin mo. My client who's a high school degree holder from Riyadh, manicurista for 10 years in a salon. Diyan sa Riyadh. Kasi magte 10 years na siya. Yung ginawa niya last year, nag-loan siya from a bank dyan sa Saudi. Nag-loan siya. 1 million. Tapos, dahil hindi gagalawin yung 1 million for 6 months, kasi sa kanyang galing, 6 months, hindi niya ginalaw. Tapos, nag-print siya ng bank statement. Yan na yung show money niya. Tapos, nag-apply kami dito, like third segment. The processing time is only 1 month. So, after 1 month from printing the bank statement, we sent the application to the embassy. She got her visa approved. And then she told the employer she will not renew. Ngayon, mag-file na siya na exit. Hindi siya pwedeng mag-exit dahil may utang siya. So, sabi niya, kalas, deduct it from my end of service benefit. Mga ganon. Tapos, nagbabayad din. So, I hope that was clear. So, you can do that. When there's a will, there's a way. Diba? Kung ayaw nyo naman dyan sa Saudi, you look for other banks dito sa Philippines. They can do that. Or even lending companies, they can do that. They have OFW loan. You just pay the interest. That's basically it. That's the monetary requirement.
May mga kamag-anak na bigyan ka ng deposit, bayaran mo sila ng konting amount para magkaroon ka ng bank statement. Merong ganun.
Pwede din. Yeah. See? Kasi bank statement lang naman yung need natin. No? So, for your information also, para mas malinawan kayo, because there are, para mawala yung doubts ninyo about Canada, this is from the official website of Canada. I'm sorry, it's very small, but it says here on July 2019, there are 6,592,000 Canadians who are very old. They make up 50% of the old age population. Do you see that? Meaning next year or even this year, more are dying. The next year, there will be more people dying. So there are really lots of work opportunities for you. Now, this is from an article from a lawyer in Canada. He says that Canada welcomes immigrants to help fill immediate job vacancies. This is despite COVID-19. Despite COVID-19. They will really need you. Okay? And we have lots of people na nakaalis na from the Middle East. I'll name a few. This one from Kubar. She's already in Australia. This one's from Riyadh. He's already in Alberta. He's an architect, by the way, from Aramco. This one is one of my clients. She's now in Toronto, and she's working for the school that she studied upon. So she's the admissions officer of the school. So if I have clients, I send it to her. It's very fast processing because she's my client. This one, another client. She's in Vancouver, the Sun. I mean, she's a nurse. This is one of our lawyers, by the way, from New Zealand. Dami. These two people, they're already in Toronto. They were working in Alcobar. They sent me an updated picture 2 years after. This is them. They are now a little bit more fat. All of these are my clients. They're housed in one household. We can do that for you. So let's say kayong lahat magsimula, magkuha tayo ng isang bahay para mas makatipid tayo. Chip in na lang kayong lahat. No? Ganon. Ito. So this was last year. she went and Bisaya got the visa approved. And there are more. I even prepared one video for you here. So I hope you can see this. I'll just share. So this person is an OFW and is also a Bisaya. He's from Leyte. So he's an engineer. He's already in Canada. So he landed as an immigrant, but he was not able to work as an engineer. So he had to study. So he became an engineer. Just watch his video testimonial. Can you hear the Can you hear sound?
Wala po. No sound.
Oh, there's no sound.
Opo.
I
Anyhow,
don't know how
siya
to
lang
share
siya.
yung sound.
It's okay. Binabasa na lang yung caption.
Just the caption na lang. Okay, sige. I'll continue.
Wala silang anak. Ay, 3 pala anak nila. Libre allowance anak nila hanggang 18 years old. Parang gusto ko na mag-down payment.
So that's basically it. It would have been better if the sounds were there, but that's basically it. Now, I'll take your questions para we can give you peace of mind should you decide to do the process with us.
Okay, i-unmute ko sila lahat ngayon. Please,
Okay.
kung ano mga question kayo. Meron akong sister sa Vancouver, meron siyang sasabihin.
Okay,
Just,
go ahead.
okay, sandali. Daisy, nasan ka na?
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Yes. Good evening, Jan po.
magandang gabi. So, paano dong naririnig niyo ba ako? Hindi ko maano.
Clear.
mo.
Yeah,
Clear.
it's
You are
it's
clear.
Clear ba? Bakit hindi ko ano, okay. Yeah, sa encouragement kasi nandito ako sa Canada in addition sa mga narinig at maganda yung mga presentation mo. In addition, dun sa bata na pagka-PR ka na kasi stepping stone nga lang yung binanggit. Ka na sa may mga child tax benefits yan. And then, yung
Canada.
may child tax benefit hanggang sa mag-18 siya, before 18. So, ang laking privilege yun. And then, pag nawalan ka na ng work dito, meron yung tinatawag na employment insurance. Makaka-claim ka sa government sa 55% of your salary. And then, aside from that, madiskarte naman ng mga Pilipino, you can apply sa other jobs secretly. So, mabubuo mo yun. Madali lang ang kumita ng pera dahil lahat naman ng Pilipino is madiskarte sa buhay. So, dun sa sinabi na you will stay away 1 hour to save the money, ang ginagawa ko, nasa center of Vancouver ako mismo. Pero, totoong is expensive. Pero, to wise decision din, like kumuha ko ng isang bahay na malaki, pinapa-estudyante ko. So yung estudyante namin, sinasama ko sa pagkain namin, nagluluto rin naman talaga kami. So malaking bagay yon. I mean, baka mas safe, mas maliit pa yung rent ko kaysa yung mga sa outside 1 hour kasi nga kinukuha ko na yung rent sa mga estudyante kasi ang daming international student dito. So may mga international nagre-rent, yun yung diskarte ng Pilipino dito sa Vancouver. Although ang rent is mahal, but yun yung ginagawa namin. So, pagka halimbawa kumuha kami ng 4 rooms, namin 2 rooms, almost yung rent nun, nakukuha na namin nun. So, yun yung may mga ways naman pagka, no. So, kanya-kanyang choice yun. And then, example dito, encouragement ulit, nasa pandemic kami. Can you imagine, I'm doing nothing. I'm receiving yung 3,500. 2,000 from the federal government within Canada. And then may binigay din 1,000 a month yung British Columbia. So sa British Columbia lang yon. Yung federal is all over Canada. And then meron din silang isinosubsidize na rental supplement dahil nawalan ako ng job temporarily. So ganun ka support ang government. Like nasa bahay lang ako lockdown but I'm receiving 3,500 Canadian dollar. So again, doon mo maramdaman na talagang stable ka, yung mabili mo lahat. Totoo yan, mabili mo lahat. Kahit na pinaka-low income ang income mo sa Canada, you can buy everything. Kaya nga sabi ko, pagdating sa Apple or whatever, magsasawa ka na. Pero sa Pilipinas, I think napakahirap pagkaroon ng Apple phone. So,
my God.
yun yung in reality, sa umpisa mahirapan kayo dahil syempre pagdating nyo, nandun lahat yung adjustment. So once na naka-extend naman na kayo, naka-permanent na kayo, it's a good opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Ayun. So, questions po.
Questions po, very important.
I have a question. Hello?
Yes po.
Ahead.
Naririnig mo niyo ba ako? Ako
Yes
si
po.